You keep trying to erase what happened to you. You call it moving on. You call it being strong. You call it not letting the past win. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not free. You're just numb in the places that hurt and overactive in the places that fear. And the more you try to delete your trauma, the louder it returns. Through your body, your relationships, your anger, your silence. What if I told you the goal is not to erase your past, but to repair it so beautifully it stops controlling you? There's a Japanese art called Kintsugi. It means golden joinery. When a bowl shatters, the artisan doesn't hide the cracks. They don't pretend the break never happened. They gather every fragment and they bond the pieces with urushi lacquer, then trace the scar with gold, so the fracture becomes part of the design. The damage becomes history, and the history becomes beauty. And the philosophy behind it is even sharper. Breakage and repair are not a shameful interruption. They are the story of the object. This is where your healing begins. Not with forgetting, with acceptance so honest it becomes power. I need you to see what most people miss. Trauma is not only the event. Trauma is the shape your nervous system took to survive the event. It's the flinch you carry into harmless moments. It's the mistrust that follows you into love. It's the way you prepare for danger, even when you're safe. And the tragedy is that you often treat those survival patterns like stains. You think, if I could just be normal, if I could just stop reacting, if I could just erase that part of me. But that's like looking at a broken bowl and yelling at it for being broken. It doesn't heal. It only adds a second injury shame. Kintsugi offers a different path, and it's not soft. It's not sentimental. It's disciplined compassion. It says, gather the pieces, name them, hold them, repair them, and don't rush, because in real Kintsugi, you can't slap gold on a crack and call it whole. The gold is not the glue. The gold is the honoring. The bonding happens first. The object must be rejoined before it can be highlighted. That is the blueprint for you. First, you stop fighting the fact that you broke. Then you learn how to rejoin yourself. Then, only then, you learn how your scars can become strength. In Japanese aesthetics, there is Ifrei Quelts for Quelts Wabi-Sabi, the acceptance of imperfection, impermanence, and the incomplete not as a problem to solve, but as reality to respect. Kintsugi is Wabi made visible. It's what acceptance looks like when it becomes craft. Now let me tell you a story, not because I want to entertain you, because I want you to recognize yourself. There was a time when I believed healing meant becoming untouched. I wanted a clean identity, no cracks, no weakness, no reminders. I trained myself to be composed. I learned to speak well. I learned to succeed, and for a while, people even admired it. But admiration is not healing. It's just applause for your armor. At night, when the noise died down, I could still feel the old fracture line running through me. The one I refused to look at. It showed up as impatience with people who loved me, as overthinking, as a tight chest for no reason, as a need to control everything, because deep down I didn't trust life. Then I watched a Kintsugi artisan at work. No drama, no speeches, just calm hands and careful attention. The pieces were laid out like evidence. The artisan didn't argue with them, didn't punish them, didn't rush them. He matched edges the way you match memories, slowly, respectfully, accepting that some parts don't fit the way you wish they would. He used lacquer to bond what was separated, and only after the repair held, he dusted gold over the seams. I remember thinking, that's it, that's what I've been missing. I've been trying to paint gold on top of a crack that I never actually repaired. That's what you do when you try to erase trauma. You chase glow-ups, distractions, new relationships, new cities, new habits. You paint gold on the surface while the break underneath still leaks fear. So here is the Kintsugi system for your own healing, simple enough to start today, honest enough to change you. Step 1. Collect the fragments without judgment. Your fragments are not just memories. They are triggers, beliefs, reflexes. The moment you get criticized and you feel small, the moment someone gets distant and you feel abandoned, the moment you make a mistake and you think you're doomed. You don't fix any of this by arguing with it. You begin by noticing it. You name the fragment. This is my fear of being unsafe. This is my belief that love leaves. This is my reflex to people please. The naming is not weakness. The naming is ownership. Step 2. Clean the break. In real Kintsugi, the pieces must be cleaned before they can bond. For you, cleaning means telling the truth about what the trauma taught you, not the event what it installed. Did it install the belief that your needs are dangerous, that your emotions are inconvenient, that you must earn love, that the world is always about to collapse? These beliefs are the dirt on the edges. If you don't clean them, you can't rejoin yourself. You'll keep rebuilding on a contaminated foundation. Step 3. Rejoin with Urushi, your acceptance. Urushi lacquer is patient. It cures slowly. Your acceptance is the same. It's not a thought you say once. It's a practice you repeat. Acceptance sounds like, yes, this happened. Yes, I still feel it. Yes, my body reacts. And no, I won't hate myself for surviving. This is where people resist, because they confuse acceptance with approval. But acceptance is not saying the trauma was good. Acceptance is saying it was real, and you will stop wasting your life fighting what is already written into your past. Step 4. Reinforce with a new internal promise. A bowl isn't repaired just by sticking pieces together. The repair must be strong enough to hold weight again. That is your internal locus the moment you stop living like your past is in charge. Internal locus doesn't mean you control everything. It means you control your next action. You can't control that you were hurt. You can control whether you are hurt. You can control whether you abandon yourself now. You can control whether you numb or breathe, whether you isolate or speak, whether you repeat or repair. That shift is the real bonding agent. The moment you stop saying, this is just how I am because of what happened, and start saying, this is what happened, and this is how I choose to live now. Step 5. Apply the gold meaning, not denial. Gold in Kintsugi is not camouflage, it's emphasis. It says, look closely. This is where the object was broken, and this is where it was restored. For you, the gold is not bragging about trauma. It's not turning pain into personality. It's integration. Gold looks like boundaries you didn't have before. It looks like boundaries you didn't have before. It looks like empathy without self-sacrifice. It looks like strength that doesn't need to intimidate. It looks like a calm nervous system that can finally rest. It also looks like a scar you can speak about without collapsing. Now, I'm going to be careful with one word in your title, erase, because I understand why you want that. You want relief. You want to stop reliving it. You want your body to stop reacting. But the honest promise of Kintsugi isn't erasure, it's transformation. The past becomes part of your structure without becoming your prison. And yes, there is research and clinical language that mirrors this. People talk about integration, acceptance-based approaches, post-traumatic growth, but you don't need jargon to understand the human truth. What you resist persists. What you accept can finally change. Even clinicians use Kintsugi as a metaphor for recovery and integration after traumatic events. So let's make this practical in your daily life, because this is where healing usually fails, not in the big ideas, but in the small moments. When you get triggered today, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, which crack is being touched? When you feel numb, don't demand emotion. Ask, what was I protecting myself from feeling? When you feel ashamed of your reactions, don't punish yourself. Say, I survived the only way I knew how. Now I'll learn a better way. This is not indulgence. This is craftsmanship. And craftsmanship requires time. Kintsugi takes time because the repair must cure. You are the same. You cannot rush the nervous system into trust. You cannot bully your body into safety. You build safety through repeated proof. Now, here are the mistakes that will ruin your Kintsugi healing if you don't see them. First mistake, you try to heal by pretending you're fine. That is not strength. That is avoidance in a suit. Second mistake, you think acceptance means staying broken. No. Acceptance is the start of repair, not the end of your story. Third mistake, you apply gold too early. You try to spin your trauma into a lesson before you've processed it. You tell yourself it made you stronger while your body still shakes. That's not gold. That's paint. Rejoining comes first. Fourth mistake, you isolate with your fragments. In real Kintsugi, the artisan can see the whole object while repairing a crack. When you isolate, you stare at a single crack and you think that's all you are. You're not. You're the entire vessel past, present, becoming. Now I'm going to give you a challenge. Specific, gentle, but real. For the next 7 days, do your own small Kintsugi practice. Every night, write down one fragment from the day. One moment you reacted, shut down, over-explained, people-pleased, got angry, felt small, felt afraid. Then write 3 lines. Line 1, this is the crack. Name it clearly. Line 2, this is what it's protecting. The fear underneath. Line 3, this is my gold repair tomorrow. One action that proves safety, one boundary. One honest sentence. One breath before you respond. One walk. 1 hour without numbing. Keep it short. Keep it honest. Do it 7 times. And if you want an even more concrete ritual, find something small that's chipped or broken, nothing precious, nothing dangerous, and place it somewhere you'll see it. Let it remind you that your goal is not to look untouched. Your goal is to be whole. Because the person you're becoming isn't flawless. They're integrated. They don't erase their past. They repair it with acceptance so deep it becomes art. So here's the action step. Do it today, not later. Take 5 minutes and write 1 sentence you've never allowed yourself to say fully, out loud or on paper. This hurt me. No explanation, no justification, just the truth. That's your first fragment collected. And I want you to tell me in the comments what would be the hardest part for you, naming the crack, accepting the pain without shame, or choosing the gold repair action tomorrow.